Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be showing you how to create a Strava segment. So if you already know how to create a segment, then this is not for you, then move along. But if you want to know how to create a segment, then I have one in mind that I want to create, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. So let's go. So the first thing that you're going to do, you're going to log into your Strava account. You're going to look for My Activities. You will go into training and choose My Activities. So then you just choose any activity that you think would have a segment that you would want to create. And in my case, this is the guy that I'm looking for. So I click on that one. Now the activity will show, and if you go down, you'll see the route that you took, and you will see the segments on this route for the day. Right over here is a button they call Create a New Segment. So we're going to click on that. So yeah, now they show you the route, and if you look up over here, you see a green dot and you see a red dot. Now the green dot is where your segment that you want to create will begin, and the red dot is where that segment will end. So I've got a loop that I was doing. This is the loop that I'm looking for. So I did this loop a few times, so I'm going to find the point where I want to start this segment. But first, if you look at this little red dot, it's kind of in the wrong place. Now what I usually do is I go to satellite map, because then I've got like a better view of how it looks on the terrain. So what I want to do is I want to start my segment right over here by the circle. I'm going to take this, just zoom out a little, I'm going to take this red dot till about, see, this is where it becomes a little, oh, that's a lot easier if you use these buttons. You can do a little bit more precise. So right where the circle is about, maybe one back, and now the green one, quick moving, I'll click on it and move it all the way closer to the red one. Also remember that if you create a segment, it has to be a certain distance. I'm not sure of the exact distance, but you will see that if you move your green dot and your red dot close to each other, there will be a limit, and that is basically the shortest distance that you can create a segment on. Now you will see the segment is this orange line. So the green dot needs to go right here where the red dot is. So I will move this green dot back. Well, that will take forever. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move it back a little bit more, just for quick. That's it. Okay, and now we're gonna try and get it more precise with the button. Okay, so now they're basically at the same spot. So if you look at the loop, it will now start by the circle, and you will do a climb, and the climb will continue all the way up here, and this is where this turn over here. This is where you turn onto a dirt road, and then you do a little downhill all the way down over here, and drop a little more down, get on a dirt road over here, and over here you're going to drop onto the tar road again, and come back down, and then that would be the end of the loop. So yeah, they say here to create a segment, use the slider, that is what we did, and after choosing those points, click on the next button. So we click on next. Now they will verify if you've got similar segments in that area. Now what they say is these are a few segments that is in the area, but as you can see, it's not what I wanted. So I want my loop to still be a segment. So I want to create a new segment. We're going to click on Create My Segment right over here, and you will see that segment that I chose is now highlighted. So we click on the next button, Now you have to name your segment. So because this is a very steep climb all the way up to here, and then you get like a little downhill over there, I was thinking of calling it the earn your descent. Earn your descent loop. What do you think? Okay, so here they ask, do you want this segment to be private? If it's a private segment, it's only going to be matched against your activities. Nobody else is going to be able to do it, and you won't be able to compare your activity or your attempts to any other rider. So let's just click on that, and then it will be public. Everybody can do the segment, and we click on create. So yeah, now the segment is created. What you also can do now is we refresh. We're going to go to my segments. We're going to go to created segments. This is the new segment that I've created, so I'm going to click on this guy over here. So now I want to show you the stats. So it shows a distance of 2.13 kilometers, 60 meters elevation. It does give you the lowest elevation and the highest elevation, and then the difference between those two levels. At the moment it shows you that the best time is the time that I put on the 4th of March, and I'm sure that creating this segment I'll have many people that will go and beat that time. But what I do for this loop is I go after the elevation. So if you do this a few times, you do a very short distance, but you get a hell of a elevation. So it's very good exercise for the legs. And the reason why I say earn your descent is because you have to do a very, very steep climb. Not that steep though. It's pretty mellow here at the end. But this little section over here is pretty harsh. So after that, you get to go downhill, and it's all fun and all fast, and your fingers are on the brakes. And then when you come up back here, it's all climbing and down gearing to your granny gear. Hopefully not. So that is it. That is how to create a Strava segment. I hope that somebody learned something from this. What I would suggest, what happens in an area where there's quite a lot of development. You created a segment maybe 10 years ago, and the area changed over the 10 years, and that specific route for that segment is not available anymore. And because the route now changed, somebody else goes and they create a new segment, and eventually even the old segment and the new segment, they both register that you just did that area. What I want to suggest, that if you have a segment and that route is not available anymore, maybe go and delete that segment so that a more accurate route or segment is available more currently. Anyway, with that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, I hope you learned something, and if you didn't learn something, then you probably skipped the video anyway. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.